What's up, Waywire? This is Mr. Deeper Thinker. Just want to post this video because I'm away coming home the other day to catch the first presidential debate. As I'm sitting there listening, I asked myself, who loses when we have a presidential debate that's confined to an hour, and we have policies that will affect each and every person's life restricted to a 2-minute to 3-minute talking point for potential candidates. As I sit there and I listen to the debates, I'll be honest, there's nothing that Mitt Romney or President Obama can say that will have any effect on me, because I am a President Obama supporter. And I'll admit that I support Obama based on the content of his character, based on his intent, his person. And to me, it's not voting for someone because they're an African American, because there's been other African American politicians who ran for president who never even had my consideration. But what I mean by that, I want to elaborate a little bit. And I think this is the part of the problem when I've talked to people, sometimes co-workers, sometimes just regular friends, about issues of politics and other things like that. I think that there are too many of us, African Americans specifically, and others, who, while many people are intelligent, are accomplished academically, economically, and socially, etc., it seems as though the idea, the concept of wisdom and critical thinking and a realistic analysis of how the many parts work for the whole, it seems as though that part of comprehension of these policies are missing in a lot of people. And I'll give you an example. When I say I vote for the content of a person's character, vote or support a person's intent and their person themselves as their entire makeup as an individual, I'm referring to the scenario where you can come to someone and ask them, do you believe in the concept of universal human rights? And they can say yes without a doubt. And they can go on to elaborate that the idea of universal human rights is that every individual, regardless of borders, regardless of race, creed, nationality, country, politics, belief, etc., deserves the same individual rights as Americans enjoy. Freedom. Does that mean freedom of speech in a sense how we abuse it here, where we are very abusive, very damaging to people? No, not that, but the idea of universal human rights, which is a United Nations document. I'm talking about someone that you could say, you ask them a question, do you believe in God? And they can say yes, undoubtedly, and go on to elaborate that when their concept of God is not confined to a name or an image or a person, a people, or place, not confined to what path you choose, but the idea that life is so simple, apparently, yet so complex that there has to be a purpose behind it. And that purpose is found in humanity. I'm talking about individuals who look at the world, specifically American social society, and they understand that capitalism, as it's practiced in the West, is extremely abusive and Darwinistic in his approach. That understands that while we are a society of freedom and so-called democracy, we are a society as consequently of classism, discrimination, racism. There's still these type of issues we face, and our social institutions are not doing anything to solve it. Religious organizations don't speak out about racism, ageism, gender discrimination, lifestyle options. They don't speak out about that when they could. People go to services every Sunday. Catholic, Christians, Muslim, they don't address this issue. So when we're looking at debates and we're allowing a format that we're satisfied with, apparently, where we give a person 2 minutes to 3 minutes to discuss what they would do regarding health care. In this case, the Affordable Care Act, slanderously referred to as the Obamacare, which is a completely different feel when someone speaks it. If someone say Obamacare, that's condensing the idea of what this Affordable Care Act is. It's basically saying that this is associated with one individual when by far it's not. And the fact that we have politicians and media, people that we are relying on for our information, adopting this disingenuous format to refer to the Affordable Care Act as Obamacare consistently, when they know that unfortunately there are many people, I think the vast majority, or I would say the vocal majority of Americans, who have absolutely no clue of what it is that they like and don't like about the program. Absolutely no clue. We have the internet, we can look up the information, we can research things, yet we don't. I've spoken to many of people who are extremely emotional about this. Absolutely no clue what it is, what it does, or even what it's named, what it's called. Yet the only thing that they hear is government, Obamacare. And you know, it's who loses in this? I know that there are many people out there who critically think about these issues, but I believe they're a silent majority, and I'm included. The ones that are regressive and the ones who understands what they're doing and taking this approach, they're very vocal. So who loses when we don't demand more? We don't demand elaboration. When we don't understand how policies affect us and who's affected by policy provisions. We allow our society, the political aspect of our society, to consistently be influenced by fear, talking points of this idea of government takeover, taxes, etc. And this is nothing but the same old debate and conflict stemming from the Civil War. Same issue with North and South. Same issue with taxes, no taxes, government. People, I've talked to a lot of people who are very fearful of government, and it's amazing to me because while it's a possibility, it's not a probability. And this is what's amazing about this, is that our country is what it is today with the diversity and the equal pay for, well, supposedly for women and freedom and rights and the protection of the protected groups and races, abilities to sit here and do this. All this is due to government enforcing what the people brought about. So, you know, my question is, who loses when we allow politicians and ourselves to be influenced by talking points of government and taxes? Well, I just had to express this a little bit. I love Waywire, matter of fact. My man Cory Booker, who I support, and definitely this is another individual that I support based on the content of his character. I think he's a great leader, and it's unfortunate that I get into a lot of debates with people, specifically a lot of people from Newark, who really don't, they really don't, you know, they really are misinformed. And you know, I do my part to try to open dialogue and talk and challenge people to go research a lot of these issues. So that beep in the back, that's my phone. That means it's time for me to get ready to get up out of here. Anyway, it's my first video, and I plan on doing more in many different settings and in many different circumstances. Later.